Hey, great afternoon, everybody. Come on in the room. As you're coming in the room, say hello. As you're coming in the room, say hello. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. For those of you, welcome to Lunchtime Empowerment Talks with Dr. Vaughn. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead, and it's always my privilege, honor, and pleasure to come and join you on Tuesdays. It's been a couple of weeks as I've had some transitions at work and some other things going on, but we are back. And I just want to talk to you. Some people may catch this on the replay, but I want to talk to you about trusting God again. And while I understand that this may seem elementary to some, this is major to others because some of us really are finding ourselves in places where we're angry with God, where we're upset with God, where we're questioning God, where we're questioning what God has allowed. And I really want to encourage somebody today to trust God again, because you got to go and trust God beyond what you feel. You got to trust God beyond what you say, beyond what people think. You have to learn how to trust God again beyond what your mind can fathom. And some of us, and I know some people are saying, Dr. Vaughn, that's easier said than done. You don't know what I'm dealing with. You don't know what I'm facing. You're absolutely right. I would never argue and say, I know what you're dealing with. I know what you're facing. Hey, D, I would never say that, but I will challenge you on this. I want you to sit back and think about how many times you trusted in that person that betrayed you time after time again. How many times did you trust in that relationship that no longer exists? How many times did you trust in that sisterhood that is no longer united? How many times did you trust, in that connection that failed numerous times? It's amazing to me that we will trust people over and over and over and over and over and over again, but we will lose our trust in God the minute He doesn't do what we want, the minute things get uncomfortable, the minute things seem challenging, the minute that he doesn't answer a prayer immediately, we will begin to question God. My question to you is, who is your trust really in, God or man? Because the truth of the matter is, if we really evaluate our lives and we are honest, let's be honest and transparent. If we are honest and transparent, we've trusted a lot more people that failed us more than God could have ever failed us. Come on here. We have actually put our faith in a lot of people. And I want to encourage somebody today that it's your time to trust God again. This is not the time for you to lose your heart. Hey, Nella, this is the time for you to lean in. It said, lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways, acknowledge Him. It's not the time for you to try to figure it out. It's not the time for you to leave God. It's not the time for you to step away. It's your time to lean all the way in to what God says, because right when you think God is not listening, that is the opportune time that God will sweep in and show Himself strong and mighty. We got to get back to a place where we trust God. Here's the thing. We got to trust that He's able, even if He don't do it. I can't hear nobody. I said, we got to trust God that, come on here. We got to trust God that He's able, even if He don't do it. Because here's the thing. Just because He don't do it don't mean He ain't able. Just because He does not do it does not mean He's not able. And you have to come to the realization and be so confident in your relationship and your connection with God that you say, God, I trust you even if you don't do it. Come here, Hebrew boys. They said, we know that our God is able, but if not, we still ain't gonna bow. What does that mean? I trust Him even if He don't do it. Hey, Erlene, I trust Him even if He says no. I trust Him even if He says not yet. I trust Him even if He says He's taking me a different route. Why? Because my trust is not based off of Him being a genie in a bottle. My trust is based off of Him being God. And we've gotten this thing twisted. We're only believing God. Hey, Melissa, we're believing God when it's comfortable. We're believing God when He's given us everything we pray for. We're believing God when the sun is shining. We're believing God when the blessings are overflowing. We're believing God when favor is just immeasurable. But what happens when you're in your darkest seasons? Come here, David. What happens when you got to walk through the valley of the shadow of death? When everything around you is death, everything around you is attack, everything around you is struggle, everything around you is frustration. How do you then handle your season of the valley of the shadow of death? Do you no longer trust God simply because He has you in a valley? No, my relationship with God is not conditional. My relationship with God means, God, we rocking this out. I don't care if it's a good time or the bad. I know that you got me. And somebody needs to be encouraged that you need to strengthen your resolve. You need to strengthen your faith. You need to strengthen your trust back in your God. I said it earlier. It's ironic to me that we will trust somebody that has betrayed us. We will trust somebody that stole from us. We will trust somebody that's cheated on us. We will trust somebody that's mishandled us. We will trust somebody that's abandoned us. We will trust somebody that's lied to us. We will trust those people because we want them in our lives. And God has never forsaken us. And we will doubt God because He don't move how we want Him to move. Now you make it make sense. Now you make it make sense. How? Make it make sense. Come. I want you to realize that when you begin to put your more trust in man than God, you need to reevaluate yourself. When you give people more chances than you stay stable in God, you need to check yourself. This is one of those lives where you need to begin to check yourself. Because here's the thing, my trust in God should not change just because God says no. My trust in God should not change just because He ain't moved yet. My trust in God should not change just because I prayed on Monday and He didn't do it by Friday. Sometimes the truth of the matter is I'm not ready for it by Friday. The truth of the matter is I'm not ready for it by Friday, because if He gives it to me, He already knows I'm going to mishandle it. He already knows that I'm not going to honor it. And because He loves me so much, He don't want me to lose what He's given me. He wants me to have it for longevity, so He won't give it to me until I'm ready. He don't want me to mishandle my blessing, so He's not going to give it to me until I'm ready. I don't care how much you kick, scream, and cry. You cannot expect God to give you a financial blessing and you mishandle the money you got now. You can't ask God to bless you with a house, but you can't even maintain the bills you got now. Come on here. If He wants to give it to you for longevity, He doesn't want to give you something temporary. So He wants to make sure that you are ready before He gives it to you. Somebody say, I trust God's timing. Come on. In the comment section, somebody say, I trust God's timing. I know what I want. I know what I feel. I know what my emotions say. I know what my mind say. But I trust God's timing. I trust God's timing. And while I'm waiting, I ought to do some work while I'm waiting. Come on here. I ought to do some work while I'm waiting. I am not just waiting, but I'm actually putting in the effort while I'm waiting. I'm preparing for what I prayed for. Come on here. I am preparing for what I prayed for. The problem with many of us, we're praying, but we ain't doing no preparation. While you're waiting for God to come back and give you what it is, what are you doing while you wait? What are you doing while you wait? Come on here. What are you doing while you wait? Are you preparing yourself while you wait? Are you getting your credit clear while you waiting for God? I mean, are you taking control of your health while you waiting for God? Are you studying while you're waiting for God? Are you seeking God's face while you're waiting for Him to manifest? Are you doing your research while you're waiting for Him? Or what are you doing while you're waiting? Oh, come on here. What are you doing while you're waiting? We have a tendency to pray for God to do certain things, and then we just sit on our hands and wait for God to do it. God is asking us, if you're going to really trust me, you got to do some things while you're waiting for me to manifest it. You got to prepare for what you're praying for. Matter of fact, I want you to declare in the atmosphere, I am preparing for what I prayed for. Put your name on it. Shavonna, I am preparing for what I prayed for. Shavonna, I am preparing for what I prayed for. I'm not just sitting waiting for God to drop it. I am preparing for what I prayed for. Hey, Les, how are you? I am preparing for what I prayed for, which means sometimes I might have to fast and sacrifice for what I prayed for. What does that mean? That means sometimes I might have to shut off from people to prepare for what I prayed for. What does that mean? That means sometimes I might have to do certain things. I am preparing for what I prayed for. Because if I prepare for what I'm praying for, I'll be the very evidence that he gave it to me. I can't hear nobody. I said, if I prepare for what I'm praying for, I'll be the evidence that he gave it to me. But many of us are praying for things and we're not preparing for them. And then we're charging God foolishly, saying that it's on God. No. No. You want that degree? Are you studying? Did you go back to school? Did you apply? You want your own space? Are you clearing up your debt? Are you saving your money? You want more money? Are you looking for a job every day? What are you trying to say? Because sometimes we pray for certain things, but we don't want to put the time in. In this economy, everybody looking for a job. So if you're talking about I'm looking for a new job, then every day you should be applying. Come on here. You should be applying for a job. Many of us, we apply once, twice, maybe 3 times, 4 if we lucky, and then we sit and wait. It's 1,000 trillion people out here applying for jobs. You applying 3, 4 times for a job because you want more money, it ain't gonna bring it your way. You got to do your due diligence. That means sometimes you got to apply every day. And some of you probably say, I'm tired of applying because I'm tired of hearing no. Okay, then you don't want what you prayed for. You know how many no's that I've received for going after some of the things that God has assigned to me. And literally, I tell you, even about my job that I have now, my daytime job, full-time job, the job of my dreams. I absolutely love my job. But do you know that I applied for them for a whole year before I ever heard back? I'm trying to tell y'all something. I applied for them for a whole year. I kept working where I was working, but I applied for them for a whole year before I heard back. It was what I wanted. It was what I wanted. I'm trying to help somebody here. You wanna get debt free, and you know you're trying to get out of it. Then that might mean you need to be finding you a second employment. You gotta do what you gotta do, because God will sometimes work a miracle out of your perseverance. He will work a miracle out of you actually trying. Sometimes God just want to see if you're gonna try. God want to see if you're gonna put the foot forward. Let me go here. I gained a whole bunch of weight. I told them before I gained a whole bunch of weight, and I was looking like, and I kind of got real down because I'm like, I got all these clothes and I can't fit them, and it's my fault. Hear me clearly. I'm not blaming anybody. It's my fault. I can't fit them. I gained all the weight. I don't have a medical condition or anything. I gained all the weight because of my emotions, because eating became my comfort. Let me help somebody. Now I got closets full of clothes that I can't wear. I had to own. Come on here. I had to own that I did it. I had to own that it was my problem. And now that I'm asking God, I need my health to be back on track. But while I'm asking God to touch certain things that's been going wrong in my body, now I'm doing, come on here, now I'm doing the work. I'm watching my eating. I'm finding some different things to keep me active. Come on here. I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm implementing intermittent fasting. I'm increasing my water intake. What am I saying? I got to do something. I can't just leave it all on God and say, God, just make a way. I got to do something. I'm saying that to say to you, there are some things that we have to do while we're waiting. While we're trusting God, we got to prepare for what we're praying for. Do you really believe that God is able? I do. I do. That's right, Melissa. I got to play my part. I got to play my part. And so guess what? And I'm just using examples, but whatever it is that you have before the Lord, whatever it is you have before the Lord, it could be salvation of a family member. Well, how are you acting around that family member? Are you praying for that family member on a consistent basis? You want God to save them, but you only pray for them when they're in trouble. So you want God to do all the work. You want God to save them, but you ain't sitting there praying for them. If I am asking God to save them, that means that I need to be putting my time in praying for them until it break. Speaking well of them until it break. Rebuking back the hands of the devil until it break. I got to be doing something if I'm asking God to deliver them. I can't just pray one time and then say, God, you do it. No, I'm praying on the regular. Because why? I believe God. And so I'm talking to you, those of you that got dreams and visions, you know the Lord has called you to something. You should be preparing for what the Lord has called you to. Come on here. If the Lord told you to launch that business, then you should be doing the legwork to get your stuff legalized, the legwork to write your vision out, the legwork to be able to structure your business, the legwork. You got to do something. The Lord told you to write a book. Why is it that we still waiting? You ain't wrote but one chapter. If the Lord told you to launch a mentoring program, then you should be structuring. You should be writing out what you should do, writing out who your target audience is. You should be doing the research. You got to play your part. It's just amazing to me. Hey, Nay, they just amazing to me that we have put so much trust in people, but we're fickle when we trust God. But we want God to move like a genie in a bottle. That man done cheated on you 20 times. And every time he said that he was sorry, you believed him and took him back. God ain't do one thing. You like, you know what? I'm tired. I ain't even doing this no more. What? Make it make sense. That good girlfriend done lied to you, betrayed you, walked out, act all kind of crazy, said she was going to get together, and she still haven't. And you still hooking up. You still running to make sure she good. You still doing everything else. But God don't answer your prayer in 3 days, and you already like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I just do on my own. Really? We put so much into people when God is the one that we should put everything in. I am so crazy in this season to believe God for everything. When I say everything, I already believe man for a whole lot and ain't got nothing to show for it. So at this juncture, God got all my trust. Even when I don't feel qualified, I trust him that he told me to do it. Listen, the Lord literally just this past Friday, we had the Thrive Chamber Encounter, the altar experience. I'm still trying to put it into words. I don't even know. I can't even describe to you what God did in there on Friday. But I had to trust God that when he told me to do it, and he told me who to bring in the room, I had to trust that if I followed God's instructions, though I had no clue to what was going to happen, if I followed God's instructions and showed up, he would do the rest. And guess what, y'all? He did just that. He did just that. I showed up, I followed God's instruction, and he took over the whole thing. I mean, y'all blew all of our minds. What am I trying to say to you? You don't have to know how. You don't even have to know all the components. You just got to know who. Stop trying to figure out how. Yeah. Stop trying to figure out how and just know the who. If he gave you instructions, stop trying to figure out all the in between. Just be obedient. Just be obedient. Hey, how are you? Good to see you from India. How are you? Just be obedient. We got to learn to trust God without all the details. If you need all the details, it's not faith. If you need all the details, it's not trust. You got to be able to have faith and trust God when all you got is one instruction: go. One instruction: do this. One instruction: call them. You got, listen. You, I'm just trying to tell y'all. I'm just trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen. All right. We ain't got time. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Let me tell you something. Because whoever's healing is assigned to your goal, gonna miss it if you stay. I can't hear nobody but God. I said, whoever is assigned to your goal is gonna miss it if you stay. And our problem is we think that our goal is tied to a multitude, and sometimes our goal is tied to an intimate setting. Okay, God. All right now. All right. Okay. Sometimes our goal is tied to a group. Sometimes our goal is tied to an individual. And then sometimes our goal is tied to the masses. But every goal ain't tied to the masses. Sometimes you got to be okay that he came to actually make sure he met the need of a room, not a coliseum. But can you trust God when your goal is tied to a room? All right, y'all. I ain't gonna get filled up in here. Can you? I'm still getting testimonies from the altar experience. And when God gave it to me in full transparency, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't even know what God expected of me. All I knew is that God told me what to do, when to do it, and who to bring. And then told me to show up. And all I did was follow. So I just came on here to literally today to encourage somebody. Trust God again. I know life has been lifing. I know people have been peopling. But as a friend of mine say, but God has been Goding. Don't even worry about it. He has definitely been Goding. Because in spite of all of that, God still got me covered. In spite of all of that, God still been healing. God still been delivering. God still been blessing. God still been sustaining. God still been keeping. God still been redeeming. God still been strengthening. Even in the midst of all of that, you have to admit that God has still been keeping you. Even when it's been uncomfortable. And so that's all I called. I just really wanted to encourage somebody. Trust God again. Trust God again. Come on, get out of your feelings and trust God again. Get out of your mood and trust God again. Get out of your slump and trust God again. Get out of your own head and trust God again. Too much in stake for you to not trust God. So today, that's all I wanted to talk to y'all about. That's it. We'll be back. As you can see, I'm on the road, but we'll be back stationary next week, Tuesday. But that's what the Lord literally just said. He's like, I just want my people to trust me again. Trust me. They put all their trust in everybody else. I just want him to trust. I want them to trust me again. Me. Not all the people. Just trust me. I got it. I'm the one in full control. And trust me, this is the 7th month of the year. I'm believing that God's going to complete some things in this 7th month. You call me crazy, but I just believe in the 7th month. God is going to complete some things this month, and he's going to complete it so that the last 6 months of this year are going to blow my mind. He's going to complete, hey, God, I love you. He's going to complete some things this month so that this second half of the year is going to blow my mind. I'm going to say it again. God is going to complete some things this month so that this second half of the year is going to blow my mind. And as I tell my team, he's going to do it what? He's going to do it just like that. This month, my testimony is going to be God did it just like that. We already saw it yesterday. Yesterday, literally, God, and I'm going to share with my team later on, but God literally did it for us just like that. And so on July 1st, hey, God, I love you. The first day of the 7th month, God did something for us just like that. And so I believe that this month he's going to complete some more stuff. And my testimony is going to be, God did it just like that. I'm gonna have to make me a couple more shirts and t-shirts to say God did just like that, because that's gonna be, I'm gonna be wearing it all month. That's gonna be my testimony all month. That's it. Yes. Yes, D, crazy. I mean crazy, ridiculous, insane. I'm just, yeah, for real. And so I love y'all. I just want y'all to trust God again. I do. I just want y'all to trust God again. We got too much at stake. Let's get all that God has for us. Let's not be denied and delayed because we won't trust him. Let's not become stagnant because we don't trust him. So I love y'all, and yeah, just trust God. Just trust God for real. But we'll be back here next Tuesday. Lunchtime empowerment talk with Dr. Vaughn next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Come on. Most of all, this week, I dare you. Whatever, just find that one thing that you had stopped trusting God about. I just want you to come on, grab that thing in your mind, grab that thing, and all day long, I just want you to say, God, I trust you again. Ah, hey, yes, Lord. All right, now, just tell God, I trust you again. I trust you again. All right, I love y'all. I'm gonna get out of here so I can keep on moving, and I'll talk to y'all later. Be safe, but most of all, trust God again.